Hello, Rachel Shepard here again with another video in my Breaking Free from Control series. And this series is inspired by the book that I'm currently writing um, about my life and the lessons that I've learned along the way. So today's topic is going to be one that is very controversial. It is about vasectomies and abortions. So we all know that the Catholic Church is pro-life. They believe that babies and life is a gift from God, and that is something that we should not take away, and therefore they're against birth control, and they value life. They want families to grow. The church I grew up in was the complete opposite. The pastor promoted abortions and vasectomies. Now, I don't know if this was his way of operating in the beginning. You know, he's been pastoring for 50, 60 some years. So I don't know if this is what he taught from the beginning, but when I was growing up, this was the case. Many people my age, when they got married, they were told that they should have a vasectomy. And if they didn't want kids, they should just make the decision now, get a vasectomy, and not have them. Focus on God. Now, people ask, well, why would he want people to have abortions and vasectomies? Like, that doesn't make sense. Wouldn't he want to grow his church? Which is what I thought in the beginning. Like, why would he be doing this? So his reasoning was that the world was evil and that we should not be bringing children into the world in this final hour. He believed that the rapture was going to be taking place, which is the second coming of Christ in our day, and that we should be focusing on bringing the message to the whole world and not have children because children take away focus. In reality, children also take away money and time. So maybe it had to do more with the freedom of the individuals within church and whether or not they could volunteer and give their time to Christ, or if they were giving their time to their children. I don't know. Only God knows his reasoning. But I do have a couple stories. So one was I got married at 18, and we decided right away that we were going to not have children. And so my husband at the time got a vasectomy, and that was very common around the church, and several people within the church that were my age made the same decision. Now, the pastor, the senior pastor, also required that each of his associate pastors also get vasectomies if they had not already done so. If they already had children, that was fine, but those that had not had children, they needed to focus on the ministry, so they were asked to give up the idea of ever having children. So they remained childless. My mom, thankfully, did not have an abortion with any of us, although she did say that she didn't want kids and that all of us were accidents, but I am very thankful that she decided that she was going to have us, even though it wasn't a part of her original plan. Now, she gave birth to me about a month after she graduated from college, so she really felt like she was giving up a career, and she was disappointed at first, but I know that eventually she loved it. She loved being a mother. She was really involved in our lives. She tried to give us the best life possible within the church. So later on, when I was a teenager, she found out that she was pregnant with a fourth child. And this particular child, she was loving the idea of having another kid. She always wanted two sons, so another brother for my brother. And so she went into the pastor and told him that she was pregnant. And he went into a vision, apparently, and said, "Thus saith the Lord, if you have this child, that this child is going to either have so many health issues that you won't be able to focus on raising your other children, or it'll cause one of your other children to be destroyed." So basically, the soul of one of her other children would be lost if she were to have this child. So it was basically his recommendation that she had an abortion. And I don't know if he truly said that. I was not in there. So I don't know what his exact words were, but that was the impression they were given, that they shouldn't have this child. Now, unfortunately, she lost the child. So she did want to have it, and she was not going to abort it, even though that was his suggestion. But she did lose this child, and she was devastated that she miscarried. But it was interesting because just a year ago, I heard on the radio someone else that had left the church, and they were being interviewed, and they had the exact same situation happen to them. So she found out she was pregnant, and she was so excited. She had always wanted a girl. She had 2 boys already. So she went in there. Her husband did not want the child and felt that she should have an abortion. So they went into this pastor and said, "Guess what? I'm pregnant." And he said, "Well, you're going to abort it, aren't you? Um, like, why would you even consider having a child?" And the husband felt the same way. He did not want to have it. And I don't know what his reasons were. Maybe it was just because of all of us. We were all brainwashed. But she ended up aborting this child. One of the elder ladies within the church went in to make sure that she had it done. And it's so sad because I truly believe that children are a blessing from God. I have 2 of my own, and let me tell you, they try my patience. I'm not the best mom out there, but I love them to death, and they teach me lessons every day about myself and about the world. So I believe that, if God truly wanted us to remain childless, that he would take things into his own hands. And at this point, like I said, he hasn't. So I just hope that each of you consider the fact that there are some people that make decisions and related to children. Some of them have had abortions in the past, and we judge them, and we have judged them. And then you have others that have had abortions in the past, and they, don't feel that they've done anything wrong. And according to our pastor, like the child doesn't have a soul until the baby doesn't have a soul until it takes its first breath. That was the excuse or the reason why they believed that abortions were okay. But I'm going to just say that I believe children are a blessing. I also believe that we should not pass judgment no matter what someone decides to do. But we should not allow anyone, whether it's a pastor, anyone, to decide what you want to do with your life and what you should do in terms of having a family or not having a family. That's your individual choice. And I hope that the majority of the people listening here already know that. And this is more just of a eye-opening video for you in terms of what other people have gone through and what they've dealt with. But from a standpoint of children, I'm glad I have mine, and I'm glad that I left the church, and I realized that having children is not the end of the world. It's actually the beginning of a new life for them and for you. I hope to see you in my next video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.